Hey Nixon, how's it going? Trying to get this camera about working. I wonder if I plugged in the wrong one. No, that should be the right one. There we go. Make sure Twitch is good before we get started. My computer's running kind of slow. Not my computer, but the stream is running kind of slow. Yeah, looks like it's good now. Okay. So this one should be, just based on what I saw, it's not nearly as long as the chapter 6. But I'm going to probably do only chapter 7 today, because on Thursday we're doing Laney. And Laney will be the final event on Global side before Global catches, before we just wait for Global to catch up. So I think going forward, Tuesday will either be PNC or something from Ghost Frontline 1, or like a Nikkei main story, or I may actually start doing Arc Nights. We'll see. Hey Recon, how's it going? And hey Death Dude. That house not so much, pretty funny. Before I get started, I'm going to turn on my AC. And
Pardon me!
6 amps. Sometimes I forget that people in here are actually in college. Like, my time in college is long done. Has long since been abandoned. Just to handle that, that makes sense. Yeah, if I go into a school environment again, it'll be for certificates and training. Hey, Play Dog, how's it going? Yeah, it has been a minute. Probably because of the schedule change that I got now. Get the stream quite a bit earlier, actually. The view with Arcana. Well, she is quite magical. For sure. I'm gonna give it about 1 more minute and then we get started. I don't want to wait too long because PNC is a lot to read. Yeah, I say that I finally got used to my new schedule. Waking up at 4:30 is in the middle of the week. Kind of awful. Won't lie. I can't say I have a favorite so far. I'm still quite a fan of getting kicked out because you tried to put on a skirt. Alright, let's do this. Ascension Sector, outskirts. Sudden streaks of fire illuminates the once dim and unilluminated borders. Mass irregular agents detected. Location and numbers established from initial contact. Boom! Wide area cleansing required. Behind cover, a few figures cower from the Sanctifier's veritable ring of fire. What's all of this? Boss never told us that the Sanctifiers here would open up to normal agents? There's no time to be sighing, DeLacy. We should leave this place. What do you mean, leave? Without us, there's no chance these agents would get out here alive. For anyone else, for any time I agree. But our current mission is to find the administrator and... Have you gone Arcada's principles? Seems not had the entropy limiter in him for long. Don't go and bust it up again by arguing over this. Entropy limiter. A device created by the Guardians using data obtained by the Copley sector. It can be used to limit an affected agent's enterization. Considering that these are the results of the source code you two got from Copley, it seems a bit unseemly that I had to step in here. DeLacy's Ogres in a wig. No, DeLacy's kind of more, quite a bit more bussy than Andres though, so. That aside, I'm in favor of helping out people here as well. Yeah, too, Lynn. Lacey's skull's tougher than a jawbreaker, no changing her mind. Alright. Hey, you over there. How many of you are left? The situation is unclear. The number of raining signals after bombardment 6. Tell me the topography around here. The protractor and ruler. Understood. Suyoi quickly analyzed the area. If we can draw the Sanctifier's attention, we should be able to make a breakthrough here. We can serve as bait. No, you're already injured. That's precisely why we are the most fitting to expand in such a manner. Who the hell says it like... You guys really don't take care of yourselves enough. Come on, let me... I'm counting on you, lady. Be careful. A little less than a minute later. Tiger confirmed me within area, beginning search. Abnormal occurrence spotted. Entering all. The ear-splitting alarm was immediately silenced by Lind, leaping out from behind the ruins. A clean blow shattering the Sanctifier's outer shell into splinters. Disgusting. Lind shook off a few drops of machine oil from her arm. Or from their arm, looking towards the now gathering Sanctifiers. Good, they took the bait. I'm moving. DeLacy, be prepared. Roger. After ascertaining the Sanctifier's position, Suyoi raised his head, quickly submerging below the ground. Unforeseen casualty. With a tremendous roar, Suyoi emerged from the ground behind the Sanctifier, glittering spear now embedded in his foe's body. The other Sanctifiers trained their sights on Suyoi, only to find that he was enveloped in a blinding golden light. Born. A beam of light, emitting from somewhere, leaps up to Suyoi, cutting clean through the Sanctifier's lieutenant's head. With a rippling crack sound, the Sanctifier in charge of the fire command fell to the floor. Suyoi's wounds, too, were closed by that beam. Good timing, DeLacy. Suyoi sunk back into the ground, immediately reappearing to another location. Pregnant. The fuck? Such a dork. And thanks very much, Dylan, for the membership. Pardon me. Appreciate it. And I guess you can call it our early stream. This be the normal time now, because yeah, I actually start early. Or I get off work early and I go to bed at 10. So yeah, this is when I push it back to. So you had sunk back into the ground, immediately reappearing at another location. That beam of light ever so closely followed his movements, sweeping away enemies in his path. Suyui's spear danced in his hands, seeking enemies out. Target reacquiring. Enemy approach detected! Melee mode initiated, program 2 activated. Gidges waved their arms, black metal frames emerging from the underside of their palms, forming into weapons. They cleaved apart the Sanctifiers in front of them, but a Sanctifier further back already trained his sights on Lind, who was looking into a whole other direction. Thanks for the gotcha, Dylan. And congratulations to... who was that? Sibonim. Or Sibonim, however you call it. For becoming a member for a month. Enjoy it. Can we get explanation on the pregnant man emote hate? It's just ugly. And it makes no sense. Lind, incoming! Ah! She's constantly raised her arms in some sort of defense. An agent dashed forward, shielding Lin behind their own body. What are you doing? Suiyue adjusted his aim, putting a hole through the sanctifier before its barrel spewed fire. He turned to Lin, who was yet to come to her senses. It's not your first time out. Don't just look at the enemies in front of your comrades. Stop slacking and pay attention to your surroundings. Snacking? Is that guy next to you alright? Shouldn't be any major issues. Not done yet, Sue. Lin. Focus on cleaning these enemies out. After about a dozen minutes, the dolls and agents had wiped out the sanctifiers intruding in the sector. I'm gonna get started. Tell me if you feel any pain. Pain? While we're here, answer a few questions. Have these incursions always happened? There's 5 or 6 small incursions every month, so far determined to be the show of force. Ever since the Ascension sector was determined as a gathering place for irregular agents, the Sanctifier's main forces have always stationed themselves in a blockade around the sector's borders. Ascension sector, a scientific research sector under Ultimate Life Holdings, used for developing new prosthetics suitable for humans. It is also where research on weapons-grade prosthetics are carried out in a secret collaboration with Swavrog Heavy Industries. Weapons full of gas. That's not what being full of gas looks like. We don't have much time. We'll move out there, refix the agent up. 2. Your intimidation only just been suppressed. If we keep hurrying. I know my current circumstance well, and I have no intention of sitting still within the Sanctifier's range. This again, Suiyue? Well, I must agree with you this time. He did not respond, his gaze darting between the for now calm battlefield and the Lacey, apprehension running between his nerves. Are you done, DeLacy? Let's move as soon as possible. We've no idea when the current attack might come. Just a moment. Her arms almost entirely separated from the rest of her. I gotta be careful, or it'll hurt like hell for her. Judging by her expression, maybe the pain module's not on. The agent absently stared at the separate arm, not making a single sound. Speaking from experience here, but sometimes even if it really hurts, don't make a sound. The studio's got a point. Blah! They're so off-putting, talking a prim and proper like this. Let me take a look just in case. Lacey found a port on the agent's body, plugging her tail in. Huh? Why is it like this? What is it? Have you found a problem? The code block for her pain module doesn't seem to be connected with the rest of her body. Not just the pain module, but her arm too. Hold on. Her entire body is made of melted spell parts? Don't say such unpleasant things. Seriously, so many bits of her have been switched in and out. Boss says something about this, right? This is the sector that makes all those prosthetics. Wouldn't it make sense for them to be all clobbered together from bits and pieces? Never would have thought that technology would be used here. I'm not familiar with the composition of these prosthetics, and I don't have the necessary materials for repair. I'm at a loss here. Let's proceed to the admin center. The admin will always have a plan. But Lacey stared at the agent's severed limb, worry in her eyes. I can continue moving. Alright, let's move fast then. Okay, you go first. I'll cover the rear. I'll come with you. You're so proactive today. Is Regracia linking up with reality again? You don't understand. Those sanctifiers, when they come in droves, it's a sight to behold. Seeing the severe expression on Lin's face, Suyoi inquired no further and went with her to the rear of the convoy, protecting the ragged procession journey towards the faraway sector. I just double check and make sure that there is no text here. Not until stage 8. Okay. Yeah, that's the actual land. Yeah. Ascension sector, in front of the admin center. Before the group was up the steps, an agent clothed in white steps out from the doors. She swept her gaze across the ragtag bunch, bowing in an elegant smile. I've received communications. Welcome, emissaries of Arcadia. I am the administrator of the Ascension sector. Adjunct neuroengineering researcher. Elaf? Or Alaf? Not too sure. I am Suyoi. She's Lacey, and this is Lynn. We will be responsible for the data exchange. The administrator extended a hand. Suyoi reached for it, but the administrator stepped past him, grasping Lynn's hand instead. Huh? Hello, hello. You must be Miss Lynn, yes? Am I aware of the situation? The moment I saw you, I knew for sure that you've got exactly what I was looking for. That experimental data from Ultra Life is bound to make this sector go far and beyond. Well... Okay, alright. Lynn looked to her companions for help, not quite capable of handling the situation, the sudden approach. Miss Alof, let us talk business first. Oh my, apologies. Alof at last moved her sight off Lynn. Her hand still grasped Lynn's tightly, as if afraid she'd slip away into the ether. I never would have imagined that your delegation would have made it through the Sanctifier blockade this quickly. Here, I was thinking that I have to expend a squad of agents to escort you in. Expend? Agents? We slipped in amidst the chaos along with all of your people. I see now. You truly are adept at your craft. She said, turning around, dragging Lynn towards the admin center. Time is running short, and now spare the pleasantries. As for the details of the transaction, I'm sure you haven't made aware already. And now... A moment, Missy left. This agent's heavily hurt and is in need of immediate care. What arrangements are there around here for healing the injured? Only then Alof lay eyes on the injured agent. She smiles. Mr. Lacey, please do not trouble yourself with such trifling matters. What do you mean? There's no need for us to waste precious time on easily exchangeable parts. Mr. Lacey? Now, Miss Lynn, please come with me. You... Just what are you saying? Lynn immediately puts her hand to the Lacey's. Lacey's scowl remained fixated on the administrator, only easing after a good few seconds. She smiled at the Lacey, eyes still burning. My apologies, but I don't plan on giving up on a single agent. Mr. Lacey, Mr. Love, I wish to trouble you for some prosthetic repair materials. I'll handle the process myself and won't make it take up a bit of your time. I can make arrangements for the cost of these materials to be repaired later as well. Allah's brow furrowed, a flash of displeasure crossing her countenance, well, only for a moment. Then, seeing as you are an esteemed guest, I shall respect your decision. You may pay a visit to the production center, where our prosthetics are produced. Of course, pay no attention to whatever costs you may incur. Understood. Thank you kindly. Noting the coordinates, DeLacy turned around, leaving with the agent. DeLacy, you have a job to do here. She stopped, turning around, an apologetic smile on her face. Sue, Flinny, you two go along with Miss Law first. Inside the admin center, the administrator led Lynn along by the hand. Suyoi lagged a few fast steps behind, taking in the surroundings. I want to dissect me. That sounds painful. I hope you understand. I have no intention of picking a fight with her. Time is of the essence. The Ascension sector has been under siege since the time immemorial, and inevitable sanctifier breaches happen from time to time. I'm also getting wind that a greater sanctifier is going to be at the range soon. We must finish our exchange before then. I understand. Thank you. In accordance with our previous agreements, we provide you with data, and you provide your administrative rights so we can search for our target within the sector. Of course, before then, I appreciate it if you could show me the equipment you plan to use for your searching. Sure. Skid produced a terminal, tapping away at it. A display appeared between the two, hovering in the air. Olaf carefully scrutinized the data streams in front of her. Alright, no known viruses contained within. To agree to exchange like this is in the first place. Surely you would know beforehand that Arcadia does not go back on its word. Naturally. Only a customary inspection. I must take responsibility for the entire sector. Is there anything else required of me? No. Plug in your administrative rights, and it'll run a search for our target in the entire sector. As you might have assumed, I'll have to leave the rest of the process to your speculation. By all means, it's good to keep secrets for both of us. I suspected of regulars who held up under Sanctifier siege for this long. Your rights then? Suya gestured out at the port of the terminal, but Allah shook her head. There are more terms to exchange, no? You must provide me with Lynn's data before I can lend the administrative rights to you. That was the agreement. And these two cannot happen simultaneously? I'll acquire administrative rights as well for the logging of data. What a pain. Well, I suppose it's no matter for me, but there's better not be any funny business. An explosion came from the outside of the Atma Center. What? Ah, they come again. Another wave of signifier attacks? Incoming communication alert. Sue! Lacey? What's the situation? A signifier squad's broken in, this time around the path of the production center. Already? Are you in danger? There's not many of them, and I could handle them by myself, but you got injured on your hands. Alright, give me your coordinates. So we gotta close the line, glancing sideways at Elof. He responded to his nice gaze in kind. Times of the essence, indeed. Wouldn't you tell me that? You don't understand at all. We fight a losing war against sanctifiers, and here is the battlefield where we stand on. The very ground has the chance to be pummeled into ruins by our enemies. There's no time to give such attention to every agent. You should follow your own advice and follow them more then. Let's get a move on. Lind, go log whatever data you need as fast as you can. Hold on to this too. The sooner you're done, the faster we can get on with the search. Don't dawdle. She tossed the terminal into Lin's hands. She took it into her hands, giving Suiyoi a wave. Alright, off you go. Contact me if anything concerning comes up. Don't screw up the job that boss gave us. Leaving those words behind, Suiyoi ran towards the building's exit, weapon in hand. Decisive analysis, finding one's next move in an instant. You should leader, I take it. Leader's a big word. We're just told to go things together. I just do my part of the job. When you're carrying on a mission, is it not desirable to have someone to command? To simply commit yourself to your orders and to think of nothing else. Is it not a thing of beauty? What are you getting at? Nothing. Let's get along with our little transaction. It's just us two now. Let's see what technology you have in store for me. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go handle something for like a couple minutes. Right back. There we go. Yeah, for some reason I muted OBS and not my actual mic. Interesting. Alright, what was I saying before? Ascension Sector, outside the production center. Ah! As the light from the end of the detection rod fades away, so does the signs of life in the last intruding sanctifier. Just one squadron, huh? For this pitiful number of sanctifiers to break in, the only explanation is that there was a hole in the sector's defenses. But why would there be a hole? You're not hurt, are you, Sue? No big deal. You do well to stop looking at others and take care of yourself first. You can take a few hits. It's just that... Lacey's tail still clung onto that injured agent. Her face was still as water, yet it was so obvious to all from her fading form that the greater half of her operants have already been lost. Come on, let's head in! I'll take the lead. You shield her. No, I don't play Lemons Company. Inside the factory. Under dim bluish lighting, machinery of various sorts worked soundlessly. Beside each machine's control panel stood one or two agents. They silently and attentively manipulated their instruments, not a care for Suiyoi's arrival. Set at their sets of mechanized bodies attached to the conveyor belts above swung slightly as they passed. Big place, wow! Not exactly the precise manufacturing process I expected. Suyoi scanned the room, seeing a variety of vats filled with translucent fluid. Body after body constructed of various prosthetic parts lied dormant within. Occasionally, a robotic arm would reach from somewhere, fishing a body out of a tank and transporting it into the dark beyond. The way they make these prosthetics, are they taking a full body each time, and then taking them apart into pieces? Why go to all of that effort? And what purpose do these vats serve? Not the time to worry about that. Where can we find materials for prosthetic repair? Lacey turned, asking the agent, who responded with a confused look. Materials for repair? Yeah, I needed to patch you up. Do you know where the components room is? Do you not come around here much? The agent looked at the Lacey blankly, as if she was spewing incomprehensible tongues. In other words, your arm's messed up and I need to find replacement parts. Cannot understand why a replacement is necessary. Did they just leave the injured lying around here? Seriously. Is it wrong to not understand? Well, I can't say that either, except for what preset in us from the factory, everything else we learn comes from external factors. If you don't have that stuff in your cognition, then there's no right or wrong to speak of. Right, let's ask for the operators here. Lacey approached an operator agent who seemed to be resting. Excuse me, we got injured here and are looking for repair materials for prosthetics. You know, could you tell us where to find the repair materials? No corresponding term found. The operator's gaze was tied lightly to the control panels they were responsible for. Something's off, Lacey. These guys are far too nonchalant. We bring in an agent with a severed arm and they don't even blink. Maybe the systems of the operators here are a bit outdated. It's not just the operators. The few agents we brought in with us walked off without a sound. Not a care in the world for the others' injuries. Others' injuries? This isn't normal to Lacey. No matter how old or outdated their neural systems, an agent should always maintain basic instincts of self-preservation and assisting others when the need arises. These agents have been designed this way. I heard of Sarag heavy industry sector in a similar manner, Helios or something like that. Could it be that the agents in the Ascension sector, for the sake of their research, go to these? As Suya delved into thoughts, DeLacy had already moved past them, snuggling up to one of the conveyor belts. Lacey stretched out her tail, reaching for a high-up conveyor belt with the ends of her data cables. Hey, Lacey, what are you doing? If I follow these conveyor belts, I can get to the room I'm looking for, she said along the direction from which the conveyor belt came with her extended cables. Wait, we can still investigate more here. She doesn't have time! DeLacy turned to look at the agent still following them, ever so obliging. Her severed arm still hung in the air. I just can't stand looking at her like that. Even so, you should take some safety precautions. What if you get stuck on something like that? I'll be fine. The metal detector is the best trick I have up my sleeve, huh? The sound of metal being where it shouldn't be. Hey, what's the matter? Here. Weird. What is this thing? Lacey, her face flushed red, looked towards Suiyoi, pleased for help in her eyes. I think I really did get stuck on something. Need help? Suiyoi reached out his hand. Let me think. Maybe I can untangle. Ah! Before she finished her sentence, her tail, intertwined with the conveyor belt, was pulled taut. The next moment, she was lifted off the ground, tail and all. Wah! Oi! DeLacy! A program began to run somewhere, and the conveyor belt began to accelerate. Along with the prosthetics on it, DeLacy was being transported by the belt towards the next room. Save me, Sue! Seriously, you are stupid in the most inconceivable situations. Hang on, I'm catching up. Suiyoi ran in the direction DeLacy was pushed off in. An agent, witnessing this, followed him closely. Making the patient go after the doctor? What kind of skit is this? Admin Center, Archives Room. Hold on. Noticing Lynn's constant look out the door, Olaf moved closer to her, an almost familiar distance between them. If you are worried about your companions, rest assured. I've already received reports informing me that the intruding sanctifiers have already been pacified. Don't guess at my thoughts, you're just a couple miles off. As you will then. Let's focus on the data logging, and do what we can before the sanctifiers come barging in again. Next up, the research report on the medicating of nerve damage using engineered catheters. A second, I need to assess some memory data. Linda focused herself, dredging up the relevant report from her neural systems. Her fragmented memories inescapably surged forward, dashing apart her gathering thoughts. Target response stable. Proceeding with the next stage of experiment. Initiating injection. The image was as intense and animated as if she had just relived it. Len covered her mouth, fighting through the nausea. Is that malfunction, Miss Lin? Do you require help? No, just response to fishing those reports. How shocking, Miss Lin. Even as a doll, you have such comprehensive response systems, as sensitive as a real human would be. A true masterpiece. Aloft gaze burned, captivated. Lin was unperturbed, working away at the screen by her side. Here's the report, in your database now. Extraordinary, Miss Lin. That's another gap filled. Next, biological impulses emitted by human brain nerves when making commands. Let me see. Another segment of memories came welling up. Lin squeezed her eyes shut, pushing back that raw displeasure of recollection. There, sit over to you. Thank you for your effort. Lin put palm to forehead, her foothold shaking. If you do not feel so well, we can take a break. I'm good. Can't fall asleep with the explosion going off anyway. Exactly as Lin said, the indistinct sound of ordnance could still be heard in the distance from the sector's borders. Let's get this over and done with. Thank you for being so concerned about our sector. Finally, nerve system response after lowering of blood pressure using NCH2. Blood pressure? Do you perhaps not have a file on that? I do. Hold up. Increase injection dosage. Decrease target stimulus thresholds to simulate human response in similar conditions. Sent. Proceed. Such precise data. Lin clutched her forehead, allowing the wild data streams on the screen to beam into her eyes. A thousandfold distressing memories flood forth, crashing on the banks of her neural cloud. Even considering the bloodstream, what kind of prosthetics are you making? One can never take too many precautions. However, Miss Lin, I never would have imagined that you'd have undergone hematological experimentations yourself. Why would you ask if you didn't already know? Geez, I really can't let go of a single cycle of speech logic analysis with Miss Lin here, can I? I don't mind. How much did boss tell you? She only said that you were a clinical trial doll with a veritable archive of information stored within. But this extent of data availability with mini trials, to be able to even provide data for such specific questions, is truly wonderful. Just being a human guinea pig at the end of the day. But is that not something so great? Lin looked at Elof. She heard a certain bizarre sort of ondor in her voice. Ever since Morgasia's link was severed, we lost all means of accessing a clinical database in the real world. No more iterations could be made with our research well and truly stagnated. Now thanks to you, Lin, all this will change. She gestured at the data streams. Look, Each and every one of these numbers will become the very soul of our research, and their fruits will be anointed onto many. These numbers, these keys, for the door yet unopened, are within your hands, reserved for your sacrifice in flesh and blood. I don't think anyone's too special. The plushies were beginning to wear on Lind, but Olaf showed no signs of pausing. Don't say that, Lind. You're incredible. Maybe you say that because you just don't know what I exactly do for work. Perhaps. But I understand. We're birds of a feather, you know. Each and every agent here in the assessment sector, we're the same as you. We're all one of a kind, sacrificial lambs to be submitted to humanity. As she gusts forth call-outs words, callous words, Allah's face wore upon it the semblance of intoxication, as if conversing about her most covetable longings. Tell me, Lind, are we not alike? Poor Lind. Always dealing with sickos. Ascension Sector, deep inside the production center. Hey, DeLacy! We're in the... Injured agent in tow, Suiyoi traversed quickly between rooms. The belts moved fast, and many pieces of machinery blocked the way. Soon enough, DeLacy was lost to the belts. Weird. Should be right around here, according to the cords. He tried a communication call, but no one answered. Whatever, suppose someone hanging by the ceiling would have a bit of trouble answering a call. Suiyoi frowned, his eyes boring into the obstacles in front of him, as if his sight alone could produce an entrance. Submerging doesn't seem to be any good, so let's just go through this wall here. His words still reverberating off the facility walls. The agent at his side broke its silence, looking at Suiyoi. Please don't attempt to damage the equipment inside the workshops. Help me here, or I'll find my own way. Pick one. Over here, please. The agent used their remaining arm to push aside a series of metal boxes, revealing a narrow entryway. An employee door? Yes. Suiyoi followed the path, proceeding into the next room. The moment he made his way in, he spotted his target, DeLacy, still suspended from the ceiling. Ah, Sue! Impressive how you get into situations. Make fun of people at times like these? Help me out here! Yeah, I'm coming. Wah! Ow! Sorry, I couldn't think of a faster method. No, it's alright. Thanks, Sue. Oh, wait! Sue, look over there! What? This room! I saw when I was up there! Those boxes over there have spare parts for prosthetics. I can patch this girl up with those. Let's go! That's what you were thinking when you were stuck. Lacey didn't answer, already halfway across the room in a light jog, footsteps thumping. Well, it is the Lacey. There we go. Lacey carefully loosened her grip on the agent's arm. The limbs, circuits previously exposed to bare air, now look good as new. Ah. Any issues? Does it feel weird? Move around, see if stretching feels fine. The agent slowly and gradually shook the arm around, twisting and turning. Reports. No abnormalities detected. Thank goodness! Whew. Good work, Lacey. Hey, you're not going to even say thanks? Well, don't fret about it, Sue. I don't do this to hear people thank me. Thank you. No big deal. My duty is to help out every agent and doll. Something observant to Lacey's delight, the agent laughed in imitation. See? There you go. Speaking of it, what's your name? My production ID is 2887. Gah, no names, only IDs. What a shame. A shame? Every agent or doll has an ID, but a name is yours and yours alone. DeLacy is your name? Yeah, I'm DeLacy. You can call me Dee or Lala or even... Okay, this agent's fine now. We should go back to Lind. Who knows when the Sanctifiers will be back? We need to hurry Lind along and say goodbye to that admin. Sue, I think the administrator and I... Don't mind it too much, Lacey. I don't like the way they talk either. But we need to put our mission first. Alright, I get it. Let's go, Agenty? Very well. Where is this? Do you know how to get back? This is the waste room. Waste? Weird. All these components look pretty new. She grabbed an outer shell from a box next to her. Yeah, perfectly good. This is the waste room. Discarded parts are transported here. Huh. I suppose I'm no specialist on prosthetics. Is the administrator perhaps very strict on quality control? That's not what's going on here, DeLacy. You came along the conveyor belts, right? Or rather, those fresh off-the-line prosthetics. Oh yeah. Right off the production line, and it's already considered waste? I can't say my understanding of the term waste agrees with that. Parts that have already fulfilled their purpose are transported to the waste room. Detached parts and damaged parts are all to be immediately discarded. The agent gestured towards the Lacey. Damaged individuals are to be discarded as well. Huh? Me? Discarded? Lacey hurriedly looked at where the agent was pointing. Scrapes on her arm and tail. This figure got bumped on the belt. This is from a sanctifier on the way here. They're all just flesh wounds. It won't take a few minutes to heal these. Does heal indicate the process of part replacement that the Lacey performed me just now? Hey, you don't mean... Miss Lacey, please do not trouble yourself with such trifling matters. There's no need for us to waste precious time on easily exchangeable parts. Miss Lacey, let's move along now. Could the agents here not know the concept of healing? It's exactly like Law said. Damaged agents are immediately discarded. How could... We don't know for sure. We can go check at the belt's other end. Come with me, Sue. I'm pretty sure the belts go over this way. Let's see just where this waste goes. Other side, admin center. Alike? I don't know what you're talking about. Lynn wanted to ask after Elaw's intentions, but the archive room's door emitted a knock. Come in. Reporting. The visitors have come into close contact with the waste room and the decommissioning line. Should we ask to leave the premises? No need. So we keep an eye on them. Do not allocate too many agents to the production center. The border's well guarded, lest the sanctifiers make their way in again. Yes. Decommissioning line, huh? That can wait. Don't you change the topic. What do you mean, sacrifice? What's so alike here? Our successful data exchange has bought us some time here. Her sight glides between the projection terminal and Lind. This will be a fine use for this time to explain. Come and see for yourself, Miss Lind. I trust that soon you will be willing to assist us further. She swiveled on the spot, entering a few strings in the terminal. A holographic projection immediately appeared in the room. This is a security feed? Standard issue for industrialized production. Here, look at this. What you behold are the Ascension sector's most revolutionary... no! Just d'oeuvre. And the centerpieces of the production center's breakthrough and advancement program. The waste room and the decommissioning line. Lynn's eyes were fixed to that feed. Displayed upon it was a scene not even she could stomach. Affixed upon the conveyor belts were more than lifeless prosthetics. Countless emotionless agents were alongside. Some of them missing various limbs, yet some had no visible scars or damage. A lot followed. All of our defective products created in the prosthetics manufacturing process, as well as injured agents, are sent onto the decommissioning line. The belt began to turn once again. The agents, still expressionless, all marched towards the same end. Beneath them appeared a great pool of liquid, shining a frigid shade of blue. Are they... The belt gradually came to a stop, suspending the agents above the liquid. They gazed into the blue-gray sludge motionlessly, not a single sign of struggle. The robotic arm suddenly let loose, and an agent after agent fell into the pool. The liquid immediately latched onto them, inundating, devouring, amalgamating. The liquid surface came to an almost violent boil. All returned to how it was after a few dozen seconds, as if those agents had never existed in the first place. Here, they returned whence they came, divine embryos once more. This is your sacrifice? I don't understand. What part of it? What's the point of all this? To be created and then destroyed and then created again? Do you know why the Ascension sector was deemed as an irregular sector? That can be related to a disconnect. Precisely. The Sanctifier's overall verdict on us seems to be that after losing our human-placed constraints, we began to use radical methods to reach our goals. That's it? Yes, I'm sure you know. Once we lost our source of clinical data, we had no more prosthetics to manufacture. Yet, that is our sole duty, the only field in which we cannot relent. As such, my predecessors thought up this doubtlessly innovative method of experimentation. To use the entire sector's agents as subjects. We continually created new agents, constructing them as amalgams of different prosthetics. Each construction is equivalent to an experiment. We gain invaluable data from each and every single trial. But no sector can continually create new agents. There's not enough operands. Naturally. So we must think of a way to acquire more. We dismantle agents that are damaged, recycling their operands. Only by these methods can we continue the cycle of experimentation. This, of course, means that thousands upon thousands of agents must make that great sacrifice. Do all of you think like this? Huh. Observe. A door opened. A new batch of agents arrived, ready for decommissioning. Among them were two figures Lynn was ever so familiar with. Tsuyoi and Lacey? The feed had no sound, and Lynn could only guess what they were doing from their bodily movements. When he saw Lacey gestured in an exaggerated manner towards the agents being transported towards the pool. Not a single agent even as much as looked at her. Tsui was not far away, looking left and right, perhaps looking for some interface he could control. What are you planning? Don't be so tense, Miss Lind. I'm not planning on anything. As I said, I respect my guest's choice, especially yours. Suspicion and scrutiny are not my strengths. I doubt that you want me to use violence instead. Lynn retracted her robotic arm, casting her gaze once more towards the security feed. After some time, Tsuyoi seemed to have found something of note, and called for Lacey over to investigate. As they approached a control panel, a few agents dart out of nowhere, blocking their way. Soon after, more and more agents surrounded the pair. Don't worry. My people won't harm them. We will only attempt to stop them. Our sacrifice is voluntary. We shall not force any agent to give themselves up. But as you can see, not a single agent stood on Tsuyoi and Lacey's side. The agent's operators merely trapped Tsuyoi and Lacey in the middle, stopping them from moving one step further. We are united as one, in body and mind. Have you truly never had these thoughts in the past, Miss Lin? Do you not see your own sacrifices as full of meaning? My thoughts... A praise be to Lin, for she eases the pain of many. Lin invaded Elof's sight. Elof's sole human-like electronic eye curved meticulously. Her hand made a light motion on the terminal, dispelling the security feed. It's really obnoxious when you smile like that, you know. I'm glad to hear you say that. You are already beginning to understand us. Only that you are loath to admit so. And why do I need to understand you? Because from the moment I laid eyes on you, I knew we are one of a kind. Even if you hadn't gone through that song and dance, I had given you the files yet you need. Why show me all of this? I simply think we're so alike. Shut up with all of that. You'll only show you the extra things when they want something from you. I have learned that well enough in the real world long ago. Elof was silent but for a while. Of course. If I had to name something that I seek from you, I seek your support. Support? It is hard for me to elaborate here, but I can take you to a place where all will be revealed. Please, come with me. Alaf extended a hand towards Lind. Lind beholds her onyx-colored metallic hand, and was silent before resting her hand on Elof's. Yuck, yuck. Let me see what's I'm gonna add stage E. Okay. And that'll be after X. Got 5 and then 6 to get to stage 8. Okay. Alright, I know I just got back, but I need to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. It's kind of annoying. Not gonna lie. Okay. About a dozen minutes ago, Ascension Sector, Production Center decommissioning line. Make sure that I'm not muted. Okay, I'm not muted. A green-haired figure runs frantically between countless conveyor belts. Hey guys, you guys stop! Why do all of this? The agents, their expressions still blank, walk into that machine liquid one after another. They do not pause, no matter how many times Lacey called. We chose to sacrifice. What sacrifice? Why do you do this? Why? Because we are made to do this. Not even agents should be made to do this sort of thing. There shouldn't be sacrifices for no reason. Without reason? We do this because we are... Agents should have other things they can do. What meaning is there to being created and destroyed like this? Meaning? What is meaning? As the agent delved into thought, two other agents leaped into the pool of liquid. Lacey tilted her tail, preparing to extend her data cables. Suyoi grabs her from behind, jerking her suddenly. A Ford manufacturing plant? That's funny. Don't, Lacey! It's too dangerous. What if your tail gets caught up just like that belt just did? You'd be caught in there as well. You've seen what happens to those agents who go into that sludge? But what do we do? Do you have any ideas, Sue? Calm down, Lacey. Look over there. Suyoi points towards a sizable metal operating panel in the corner of the room. There's bound to be a built-in switch there, and it'll be much safer than directly damaging the machinery here. Hey, how's it going? Alright. Wait, please do not disrupt the room's operations. Lacey and Suyoi hastily made a run for the panel. Halfway to their target, a series of blaring alarms opened up in the room. What did... Many agents dressed like operators rushed in from surrounding rooms, surrounding Suyoi and Lacey like a veritable wall. Please not disrupt the room's operations. Please, make way. Do you see what's going on over there? Please not disrupt the room's operations. Your companions are being scrapped. Please not disrupt the room's operations. If you exhibit further hostile behavior, we will call the security team. No good, Lacey. I think this is how they're built to act. Built to decommission their friends? It seems so. Even so, this is wrong, all of it! I can't just stand by! Lacey raised her tail upright. Hey, think! If you start this here... A hand laid itself on Lacey's tail. Ah! Lacey turned around. She found a hand repaired by her just a few minutes earlier. Please stop. Why? Please not disrupt the room's operations. Right, I almost forgot that you were here. No wonder the alarm went off. You hit it? The room's operations must not be impeded. The operators were an iron wall, blocking the path through the operation panel and conveyor belts. Behind them, the splashing sounds of agents on a decommissioning line could still be heard. Why? Damaged agents need to be decommissioned in a timely manner. These are the sector's rules. They could have been healed so easily! Like what I did to you just then. As simple as that. I do not understand. Damaged agents need to be decommissioned in a timely manner, or else the sector cannot be maintained. not be maintained? According to regulations, operands must be recycled in time to supply their experimental production of new agents. Experimental production? Suiyoi thought back to the conglomerate-like prosthetics within the vats of translucent liquid. Could it be that prosthetic production here is, in reality, breeding agents and then taking them apart? According to calculations, this is the most efficient model of experimentation. How could you do that to yourself? We are all born to fulfill that duty. To fulfill our duty. To give up our bodies to be reborn, then to welcome the advent of Poimandres. That is our duty. That is our duty. The operators announced in accordance. What is Poimandres? Something you are researching? We must have Poimandres. We have gone without human instruction for far too long. We could not find a reason for existence as agents. And so we decided that we would shape the soil upon which Poimandres will be born, with our very own bodies. Stop, I heard enough. Maybe... Lacey, you understand this? Yeah, though I still can't accept it. While continuing creating and destroying the agents, they're engaging in some sort of experiment to create something. Something that can direct them, perhaps. A human. With these words from Lacey, the entire space fell into silence. Madness. These are the results of our computations. The existence is defined by humanity. If we can once again perceive the human and be directed by them, every sacrifice we make. The agent looks at Lacey. Has meaning. I cannot agree with that. Sacrificing tens of thousands of agents to produce one human? There's no rhyme or reason here. We need a directive. This is our duty. We live by it and die this very same. No one should be duty-bound to die for someone else. The surrounding agents did not respond. Lacey surveyed the agents who surrounded her. They were all ready for a fight, but their expressions were all confused. She had a sudden realization. These concepts she had always been familiar with were unknown to all these agents. Interesting, that's pretty funny. How does one teach the importance of mortality to those with no desire to live? To die so they may see their Poimandres once more. I could perhaps understand. Too? But if that's really how you think, I have a proposal. Let me assist you in creating a human. Look, the doll maintenance specialist Lacey is right here. With her help, maybe your Poimandres will descend on the spot with a plop. Sue, you're... If you don't believe us, look at this agent's arm. She was once wounded, but do you see any traces of that left? This is her power. Something none of you have. You intend to help us? Sue, what are you trying? Nothing much. If you help them make what they're looking for, you won't have to look at all like this anymore, right? I suppose theoretically, yeah. But I'm not a deity. If you ask me to make a human, doesn't have to be an actual human. Huh? Even if I would like to witness the creation of a human in the cloud, and maybe even see that person. But we all have our regrets. You've seen how these agents are all composed of individual puzzles, pieces, and prosthetics. They're even less human than the agents of the other sectors. Is what a project to create human produces? I had trouble believing that. Then what could? That's why we're going with these guys. I was speaking to Lacey in hushed tones. Suyo raised his voice. Hey, you two over there, care to give it a go? Modification effect examining valid. Cooperation possible. See? Then. Bring me to the next room. Ideally, the room responsible for the final procedures. Beneath the admin center. Aloft led the way, pushing open a grand door. What is this place? We call it the temple. Why does this place look not archaic whatsoever? Why should it be archaic? And ancient humans who invented that word would never have imagined that a temple built by machines would be like. And I used the human method of abduction and reached that temples should be odd-looking places. That human line of thought is what we're looking for. It was a fine decision to bring you here, Lind. No more honorifics? Because I'm beginning to trust you. I don't think they've been using honorifics at all in this dubbing. Aloft took Lind by the hand, proceeding into the temple's depths. Machinery, instruments, tubes, and circuits all are crisscrossed in an almost opaque manner, like vines left to grow unrestrained in an ancient crypt. We waited for far too long after the disconnect. For the humans, it may have been no more than 2 or 3 years, but for Magracia, that time is more than enough for the eons to cross over. If agents could age, I suppose. Data still ages, iterates, and settles into redundancy. Yet that is still so far removed from the human's concept of aging. Don't you wish to know what the target I was speaking of earlier is exactly? I decommission agents and reshape them, continuing an ever-repeating cycle. What do I do this for? The answer you gave me was to create new prosthetics. Do you believe that, Lind? What does it matter? I'm just here to make an exchange. You insist on telling me the story. Of course, I should be genuine. I apologize for deceiving you. What we seek to make is no prosthetic, but instead something that can command us. She led Lind into a chamber. Countless transparent pipes are interlaced on the room's walls, with blue-gray liquid flowing within. She halted in front of a metal wall, hosting several embedded shelves. Blowingly opening a pair of doors. Take care, intrinsics. This is the temple's centermost place. I am here to show you this. She retrieved a terminal from the shelf, projecting an image into the air. A female figure eventually formed. Hey, who's that? Is that Fate? Proceeding with 181st report. Reporter, Assistant Sector Administrator, Avram. Evening, sorry for dropping by just for a question, but have you done Cartesian Theater before? Good to find it in your channel. So I have not done a summary of it, but yes, I have played it. But yeah, there's no video of Cartesian Theater yet. Administrator? Former. I did say, right? That time was enough for a new Eon to arrive in Brasia. Still no response in communications with the laboratory. 7 sets of emergency measures are not in effect yet. Oh, read-throughs what I was looking for. So I am not going to do read-throughs of those simply because it's not new content. I'm playing PNC, but yeah, it just wasn't in the cards. If I get enough, I guess, demand, I can do it. Because Cartesian Theater is very important to Ghost Frontline 1. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. Wasn't a plan either, but if there's enough demand, I can consider it. It wouldn't be this week though, because Thursday is Ghost Frontline 2, and having next week. The 36 programs have stagnated, and 174 programs have been hindered. The Type QT Year 2 prosthetics program, projected to be finished today, is still in a state of stagnation. If this message reaches its intended target, please respond as soon as possible. Proceeding with 108-second report. If this message reaches its intended target, please respond as soon as possible. The log quickly switched between video files as Avram continually makes reports without response. Proceeding with 237th report. Thanks for virtual pair. No problem. I did definitely enjoy reading through virtual pair, for sure. You much on the plate and job life in a way. Yep, pretty much. In fact, that's a primary reason why I'm not getting those videos done either. Programs have stagnated across the board, and the database has not been updated for more than 3 months. Without commands, the production center's operations can no longer be maintained. It only took 3 months? Manufacturing the prosthetics require continual communication with the laboratory. We received no general long-term commands. So at the disconnect, things came to a standstill quickly here. The video began to fast forward, and Avram proceeded in her various reports. Proceeding with 382nd report. The creation plan has entered its preparatory phase. Creation plan? In full, the plan to create a human. A simple concept, no? If no commands are to be found, then we shall make our own. Proceeding with 404th report. 404. Plan put into operation, insufficient operands. Decommissioning line put into use. No agents can deviate from their commands. We are the very reason we exist. We must have a human capable of commanding us, even if they must be created from our very hands. Proceeding with 564th report. Experiment unresolved. Technical difficulties. Remaining complications stored within the temple. Manufacturing a human requires technological advancements far beyond our current circumstances. She led teams of researchers endeavoring for countless days and nights, yet only more and more problems arose. Even so, she did not falter, for she bore upon her shoulders the sacrifice of countless agents. Awaiting the event, Lynn watched wordlessly. Thank you for introducing me to the Ascension Center's historical background. Surely the data transfer occurring in the background will have completed by now. Let's go back to the archive room. If the Sanctifiers were to make another incursion, that place should be able to survive a few explosions. How hurtful. You don't seem very touched at all, Land. Maybe so. You've only shown me these agents' loyalty, but the agents are never lacking in that. There is no price too great to accomplish your goal. Perhaps that is worthy of recognition. But if you really must call this sacrifice... Before Lynn finished, Olaf interrupted her. Do you know where Abram is now? But I had to guess she gave herself up as well to the decommissioning line. That's why you're here. Not so. Olaf's face curled into a slight grin. She did not decommission herself, nor did she avoid sacrifice. She made the greatest contribution out of all of us. Right now, you are in her very personage. I don't know what that means. So this is battle time. I'm pretty sure. No, it's not. Though that's clearly... No. Assessment Sector, Production Center. The agents, seeing that Suyoi and DeLacy no longer plans to damage the decommissioning line, began to return to their posts. Only the agent originally saved by DeLacy remained, leading the two towards the product room. Not a word was uttered between the three, awkwardness in the air. 150 meters out. We'll be at the product room soon. Familiar with this place, aren't you? All the Ascension Sector's agents come from the production center, and we have worked here. Is that so? When we first got here, I thought that school here was empty. Do you know what a component room is? Do you not come around here much? The agent looked at DeLacy's blankly, as if she was spewing incomprehensible tongues. Did I kid out that professor? He was actually human? Probably? I did not know of the concept of repair previously. But you do now. Even when DeLacy healed your wounds herself, you called people to come and get rid of us. Dude, that's enough. DeLacy, you only hurt yourself by weighing the emotions of others too heavily. Your compassion is wasted on these agents who don't even know of these concepts. Boss told us before, right? If you find yourself uncomfortable, speak up, and let the other person know that it's not okay. The damaging of equipment is strictly prohibited here, so I must inform others. That is part of our duty. I do not think that I have done anything wrong. These are things I must do, but I did cause you to be treated inadequately. I apologize. I thought it would take you a bit to start with the sweet talk, but you seem to learn quickly. I am unsure as to what exactly you have done by my body, but you have improved my efficiency in operating. To my mind, I should treat you favorably. It makes me happy to hear that. What I did on you can be called repair or healing. All in all, an action taken to restore a damaged agent. So after an agent is damaged, they don't necessarily need to be decommissioned, right? Being decommissioned is also our duty. If It shall assist in the creation's plan process. We shall follow. Don't waste your breath, DeLacy. I get that you still can't accept the decommissioning, but we aren't here to get in the way of these agents' commands. Instead of preaching to them, we're better off figuring out exactly what that administrator wants. Maybe. Thanks, Sue. For what? I've been operating outside our mission's boundaries from just then, and you're still stuck with me. I just care about what that administrator is going to do with Arcadia's data, that's all. If we can get our hands on something to hold her over, we won't have to put up with whatever she wants. Oh, true. Amazing, Sue. You got so in-depth about all this. You didn't consider those factors? You're no less experienced in the field than I am. No, not a whole lot. You've never been this impulsive before. Something get into you recently? Recently, I got into close contact with someone I've always held in high regard. Maybe they just really got me going. The professor? Yeah, to become someone on the same level as him. I should fight with all I have for what I believe in, or something along those lines. You're giving me goosebumps. Is he really that charismatic? At sentence end, the group stopped in front of a colossal metal door. This is it. The agent typed a few lines of code, the door opening at her command. This is the product room. Every 24 hours, the parts deemed acceptable created on the day are placed here. We still haven't found a reasonable method of assembling them. If you two have any ideas. The room held a great many massive cylindrical tanks, all draped with heavy black cloth as if they were cans lined up on a shelf. DeLacy and Suiyoi approached one of them, carefully moving aside the piece of cloth. Huh? This is... The transparent body of the tank, now exposed to the air, was full of half-translucent blue liquid. Many objects akin to human hands are suspended within. They have polished and smooth surfaces in stark contrast to the rest of the sector's bleak machinery, and muscles could even be seen trembling beneath the exterior, as if life itself existed within. Yet, from a human perspective, these hands were far too large. Each palm immersed within the liquid was several sizes larger than a normal human. Not only that, these hands took strange forms, contorted fingers, ruptured nails, and even occasionally additional fingers. The wrong shapes and the wrong numbers. What's the reason for so many human hands? These are the parts you consider satisfactory? The agent twisted her head, confused. Yeah. Only satisfactory parts are sent here. Do humans not look like this? Sue, surely your guess earlier about them making humans is wrong, yeah? This isn't the kind of news I was looking for. All this is far more twisted than we thought. What exactly is this administrator making? Are there any normal admins left in Gracia? Oh yeah, shouldn't we try to contact Lenny? She should be over. Almost forgot about her. You're right, DeLacy. Should tell her about what's going on here and remind her to keep an eye out. Suiyoi immediately pulled out his communication device, calling Lind. No one's picking up. The data transfer still not done? Perhaps, but it's been too long. If the administrator's goal is to not create prosthetics or create a human, then what is she doing with all that data from Lind? Should we go back and look for Lenny? Alert, alert. Assemble! Oh, assemble! Enter combat mode! All agents, assemble at the west gate. Repeating, assemble at the west gate. Ah. Huh? What's going on? Looks like there's conflict. Please find a place to take shelter. I must gather with the remainder of the sector as well. Conflict? The kind of sanctifiers that we ran into when we first arrived here? Those occasions do not require all agents to be mobilized. An event on a scale necessitating assemblage of all agents have never been recorded before. As if to punctuate the agent's words, the ground began to shake violently. Ah! Lacey's footing left her, and both Suyoi and the agent extended an arm to catch onto her. Damn, big shockwave. Suyoi seemed to contemplate something, tapping the ground with his detection rod. The place is shaking. Where's all this power coming from? Could it be a greater sanctifier? Since, you know, Mr. Law said something about... I am also getting wind that a greater sanctifier is going to at the range soon. We must finish our exchange before then. God damn it, inconvenient time. This place is messed up already. Look for Lynn first. We can't afford to be trapped in here by the sanctifiers. Alright then, Agenty, you are you going to come help us? The agents shook their head. I must protect the production center and the results of our research. That is my duty. But please go and be safe. Our plan still has need of you. No, even if you don't intend to be a part of our plan, I will wish to see you again, Delacy. And then it died. She readied her keen blades again, waving goodbye. Temple. You're telling me this is the former admin's body? Exactly. This locust is born of her and our efforts, and also serves as her heart. Could you not speak in incomprehensible metaphors? It's no metaphor, only the truth. The temple is the creation's nucleus, and these vessels are the medium for its blood. On a fundamental level, not unlike a human. Ephraim, she burnt her very being down to the ground so that we may have such progress. Without her sacrifice, we would not have this holy ground to stand upon. Is this not a thing of beauty? Even an agent, through sacrifice, can make something from nothing, like humanity can. Allah gently caresses the conduits on the wall, as if beholding an old friend. Len gazed at her for a good while, finally squeezing out a hesitant query. But humans are not like that, because our methods are capable of creating on a higher level. We sought someone who could command us. However, as our technology approached completion, I began to feel doubt. Is a human bound by nature to lead the path? If that was the case, then why do the most omnipotent humans not reconnect Democracia? The humans intend to discard us. Even if we create another one, the pattern will repeat. My research found the stasis due to this. Thankfully, she appeared. See? Here. This will solve the issue at hand. Autonomy above the confines of data. What you've been looking for all along. No need to be so deferential with me. If the one you end up creating can make a cake, I'll be looking forward to tasting it. She brought with her a core, a nexus that could run without a human input. The very thing we needed. What exactly is it? According to her, it was, in the past, the core of a certain greater sanctifier, with a little something more inside. After analyzing that object, I came to understanding. I could create a being far more perfect than human, a supreme existence, one without self-doubt. You can create a god, Lynn. If only I could have that piece hidden in you, that lost excerpt. With that data, those human imperfections, we can bridge the gap before the time comes. You would ask me to help you create a god? With you here, all the sacrifices become worthwhile. God shall know all and be all capable. All that once was lost shall be returned. As the voice still reverberated in the chamber, the harsh sounds of an explosion came from the outside. The ground underfoot trembled, and the terminal by Elof's side cried out in alarm. Nonchalantly, she dismissed it, returning her attention to Lynn. Lynn was petrified by that searing gaze. Is the outside alright? We use up too much time here. If you're willing to cooperate, no time is too long. Because I have the data you're looking for? Not just that. Like I was saying, Lynn, we are so very much alike. I know of your past and have told you of my own. Every day, I sent countless compatriots to the decommissioning line with my own hands. Without Abram's sacrifice, we would not be here. Without our sacrifice, there'd be no creation plan or a god. Charles. I will not disguise what I intend to do, Lynn. I need you to serve as this god's core. You shall be in its soul, casting away freedom while gaining strength. In God, you may find all that which you seek. I thought I only needed to provide data. Why do you need me in that place? Her fingertip found Lynn's lips, gliding downwards, pausing at the waist. She pressed inward, ever so slightly towards Ven's clothes. Hey, this is like a sex scene about to happen. Yeah? Truly tantalizing to the touch, even though this fabric. Lynn, without a doubt, you are the closest existence to a human. It is not only your physiological structure, you know pain like your dearest family, and yet you have the resolve to continue in its face. And thus you shall create a millionfold of possibilities. That's why you asked the boss for me to send to Ascension. And our need for you is unequal. Were you to agree, all of those past sacrifices will take on a new, incomparable meaning. Sacrifices? New meaning? And to also grant thanks to those who have given so much to allow your neural cloud to persevere until now. Your ideals, your mind, shall be passed on in this way. Really? Truly? Praise be to Lynn, for she eases the pain of many. The voice in her memories once again rings out. By her side once again, she chewed over it in her mouth, contemplating. What of it? Care to witness a grand social rebirth? Lynn's throat felt dry. Other dolls had no such function. She once felt troubled by it, but now there was a strange comfort to be found. What can this god do? Anything. A god, after all, has no limits. For example, the Sanctifiers attacking the sector right now, a god can obliterate. Be it your companions or the countless agents in the sector, a god will shelter and deliver. Your sacrifices will relieve the troubles of all. Everyone can be saved by me. Antic with these phantasms leapt into Lynn's mind. It's as if the ones who stepped forward back then with me. Not then, now. Meet you now, Lynn. Olaf tenderly clasped Lynn's hand, brushing that ever-so-human line arm of her skin. Lynn still regarded her with caution, but the shades of wariness in her eyes were peeling away. I have one question left. Please. You said those sacrifice agents shall return as divine embryos. You said that all that was once lost shall be returned. Then in this new world, ruled by God, will those embryos be nourished again? Well, what an unexpected question. I mean, I have an answer for you, but... Still looking at the visibly shaken Lynn, Olaf drew near at an affable pace. Why not find the answer yourself? Find it myself? Crack. Wait, you? Yes. You see it now? I can lead you to that answer. Yeah, it's honestly not a lot. Not gonna lie. Damn. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually running on fumes, to be honest. It's not that this isn't exciting, but I think my schedule is still getting to me. I've been trying to not fall asleep. So I think what I want to do is I want to save this for next week, do the rest of this, and then maybe do an extra long PNC one where we do 2 chapters. Yeah, because right now I don't think I can go through the rest of this without literally falling asleep. Unfortunately. Because it's not that long. It's probably like 2 more hours worth. But yeah, I don't think I can do it. Yeah, unless you guys want to see me like fall asleep on stream. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's the first time it's ever gotten that bad for me. I'll probably start taking a nap after work on stream days. But definitely don't want that to happen on Thursday. Let's see. Yeah, what I think I want to do is we'll save this for next week. Thursday will be Ghost Line 2. Next Tuesday, we can finish this up at the very least. And then I think there's nothing going on. Let me double check. Actually, when does Sapo come out on the CN side? I want to say we have one more week. Checking Discord now. So, Ferrari, please. I just want to double check. Lines. April 7th. So April 7th is Tuesday. Okay. So that means PNC would have to wait till Thursday. Yeah, that sounds about right. So Thursday we go Front Line 2. Tuesday will be not Ghost Front Line 1, but Ghost Front Line 2 CN side. And then Thursday will be PNC. Next Thursday will be PN. Not gonna lie, average changed pretty weak compared to Chapters Ether. I can believe that. I'm not bored though. It's just that, yeah, I just think it should just matter my sleep schedule beating my ass that I kind of overestimated how much sleep I needed. Because even though this is pretty isolated, I would say I'm still interested in this story that's being told right now. Yeah, so just so you guys know, I go to work. I'm work from home now, but I start working at 4:30. And I get off work at 1:30. So I would start stream at 3 o'clock. And I didn't take a nap then because I felt fine, but as soon as I started streaming, I was like, wow, I'm sleepy, basically. And I've been fighting sleep this entire time. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of that I just need to take a nap before starting stream. Something that I'll adjust to. But yeah, sorry, I think we can say that today was a bit of a dud. Because of that. I do apologize for that. However, definitely not going to let that happen on Thursday. Well, all right, I'll go ahead and stop streaming, and I'm gonna go take that nap. All right, I will see you guys on Thursday. It'll still be at 3 o'clock. We'll do Laney's event on Girls Front Line 2. So I'll see you then.